once you've fired your airbag, hopefully you weren't caught in an avalanche anyway, and you've got to the bottom and you need to deflate it. Can't really ski around like this for the rest of the day. So you just take your pack off. Okay. So you've got your pack. So we need to get the air out of it. Okay. So that's the one pocket. Right. Okay. To the sides of the quick start guide, you have got this yellow bit of tape, and there's a stiff little sort of almost like a tent peg in the end there. You undo this and remove your bottle. So first of all, you will have to move the firing mechanism, which is pretty stiff. There we go. And of course, where your Leatherman came in pretty handy. Okay. When you've unscrewed the brass connector from the tank, you'll notice that the inside just comes straight away with it. You didn't have to unscrew the inside connector like you did when you put it on, and that's because when you fired the gas canister, the pin that was in here detached out of the gas canister and is now poking out the end of the little silver nut that you did up in the first place. So what you have to do, that's part of the cylinder, not part of your bag. So you just have to grip that, and it does take a bit of gripping. Okay, undo that. Okay, and you get left with that little piece there, which is a very important piece. You don't lose that. When you take your cylinder off, okay, what you do is it lives down in this little hole there. If you just push it back down in there, okay, it'll stay in there. It's quite secure in there. Push it into there, and then you get out your red caps, which you saw me take off in the first video, which my assistant was just about to pass me. That was a yellow cap. Okay, so it's handy if you keep these, there we go, as if by magic. Handy if you keep these in the side pocket of your bag, and then what you do is you put the pin in there, you screw that cap back on there, okay, and that makes sure you don't lose the pin. And the other cap goes over there, which just protects any, stops any debris going down that little hole into your cylinder. Put those two back on, and then you can just post this back for refill, because now it's empty. You can just put it in the post. It's no longer a restricted item. It is in fact just an expensive tin can. You send it back to us or to Anatom, and we get it refilled and then returned to you via special courier. So okay, now we'll go on with the repacking, and then take off that. Okay, you also want to give that a little bit of a pull back towards you, and round the back what that does is it pulls the firing handle back up into position. Yeah, and we remove the pin, which we unscrewed and was inside there. Okay, now you take off the bottle. Then you can see that there's now a hole in your red sticker that was on the top, and out the side this little spring-loaded arm here, you can see like that, has popped out through the red plastic sticker. So finish with that. You take your podger and push it up the middle of where they've just taken the bottle off, there, and it just pushes the little diaphragm out the way, and it gets a bit more like a thermarest at this point, and you have to swish all the air out of it. It's fine to kneel on your bag, it's very tough nylon. and you squish as much air. You're not thinking about packing it at this point. You're just squeezing out as much air as possible. And the more air you get out of it now, the easier the whole repacking will be. So you get all that out of there, and you can leave the little yellow podger stuffed up there. Okay, so before we go any further, we'll go back to the firing mechanism and just check that our handle has ended up back where we want it to. So again, I can give that a little pull like that, and that pulls my handle up into position, and I will just slide that back down inside how I had it before. Zip it up. Okay, so we find the bottom of our zip, and now have to take that all the way back over to its start position, just like any normal zip, and join the two halves of it together like that, and then just pull it up a tiny bit. Okay, starting on this side, what you're after doing is you've got this front panel here, and you've got two shorter side walls up here, and you want to end up with this front panel all nice and neat, and the side panels folded in. So on one side, you sort of make a crease down the middle of the side panel, and take the two edges together. You make a crease down the other side of the side panel, and take those two edges together, and you've got this kind of a nice flat shape. You do that for the first wing. You fold the bottom up like that, just so it clears the bottom of the zip there, and you fold it in towards the strap, and then you fold that over the top and back on itself. So you've got a nice sort of concertina rather than a fold. It's not rolled, it's folded flat and then folded in on itself. And you start by just popping that down inside here. Now this is the last bit that gets zipped up, you see. So there's actually a yellow strap here which comes out and just hooks onto the side. And all that is it helps keep it in position during the folding process. It's not, when you zip it up, you actually have to remove the yellow strap to get it to zip up properly. So, and then we do that like that, up to the middle. Back to this side, and it's the same process. Fold the two, sort of flatten it out, fold the two sides in towards each other. Okay, and fold it in like that. Got the end fold, fold that in, and then in like that. Okay, once you get the first bit in, like that, pull the cover around. And begin to work sort of a bit tighter at the bottom, and then as you get up, get more and more space. You know, if you do it the first time it doesn't quite go right, it's absolutely fine just to break the zip open and start again. You know, if you put it on and you haven't done it very evenly, you'll find that maybe one of the shoulder straps isn't very comfortable, in which case just take it out and start again until you get it nice and comfy. Okay, keep going up the shoulder strap, just kind of folding it in. As you get up towards the top, there's a lot less folding, there's a lot more fabric, there's a lot more space in the bag for the fabric, so it begins to become a bit less folding and a bit more, well, not less folding, but just, you don't have to be quite so precise. Just kind of fold it in on itself and keep going round with the zip like that. pull the two halves together, and pulling the zip round. It's not a struggle, I mean, it just goes in nicely. Okay, when you get to the burst part of the zip, you hold the sides together, pull it across, and then close. It doesn't marry up. And then as you do it, you just close the Velcro patch like that as you go along. Back round to this side, and the corner in, and now we're heading towards our yellow retaining strap. Don't worry, you can't forget to undo that, because you cannot zip the bag up with it in place. Okay, so don't worry about that. That comes off now. Just tucks into one side like that. Back down we go. And there you have your repacked Snowpulse bag.